The United States is a powerful nation, known for its strength and resilience. It shapes the world with its strong military, growing economy, and cutting-edge technology. Leading global partnerships and pushing the boundaries of science, America's impact is felt everywhere. Beside these, today we have the most interested topic is the 2024 U.S. presidential election, which is shaping up to be one of the most important in recent memory. Now, it's a time for the decision, the time for the more powerful future of the American. The election is not just a choice between two candidates, but a decision about the future direction of the United States, with Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump as the main candidates. This election is more than just a political race. It's a key moment for the future of the United States. The most interested thing in these elections is that the Kamala Harris have two presidential support. One is Mr. Barack Obama, the former president of the United States, and the second, Mr. Joe Biden, current president of the United States. Each candidate has a very different vision for the country. In this easy-to-understand analysis, we will look at their backgrounds, the policies they support, and the strategies they're using, as well as what this election could mean for the nation. Mr. Trump have very strong and well-rich family background, but now we are seeing that he is facing toughly competition by Democratic Party candidate Mrs. Kamala Harris in all campaigns. Harris belongs to immigrant parents, mother from India and father from Jamaica. Kamala Harris, the current Vice President of the United States, is running as the Democratic candidate. As the first woman, first black woman, and first South Asian woman to hold the vice presidency, she began her career as a deputy district attorney in Alameda County, California, where she focused on prosecuting child sexual assault cases. She later became the district attorney of San Francisco and eventually the Attorney General of California. In these roles, Harris built a reputation as a tough but fair prosecutor, often balancing progressive ideals with practical enforcement. Harris brings a wealth of experience and a groundbreaking perspective to her campaign. Her career as a U.S. Senator and California Attorney General has been marked by a commitment to justice, equality, and progressive reform. Donald Trump, the Republican candidate, is making a bid to return to the White House after his one-term presidency from 2017 to 2021. Trump's political style is characterized by his unfiltered communication, populist rhetoric, and nationalist policies. Despite being a deeply polarizing figure, Trump has maintained a strong and loyal base, particularly among working-class voters and conservatives who feel alienated by the political establishment. Harris is expected to leverage her record in the Biden administration, where she played a significant role in shaping policy on issues like COVID-19 recovery and infrastructure. Her campaign will likely focus on mobilizing a diverse coalition of voters, particularly young people, women, and minority communities. Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign has reported raising over $500 million for the election battle against Republican nominee and former President Donald Trump. Notably, almost a third of these donations came from first-time contributors. Running for president has always been an expensive endeavor, but campaign budgets have exploded in recent years, increasing from a few $100 million in 1980 to nearly $4 billion in 2020. The Harris campaign's record fundraising in August, with nearly a third of donations coming from first-time contributors, indicates significant enthusiasm for her campaign. Small donors, though not representative of the average citizen, tend to be more educated, wealthier, and more ideological, contributing to the polarization of the electorate. Money for campaigns typically comes from individuals and corporations, flowing to campaigns and political action committees, PACs. While individuals can only donate a few $1,000s directly to a candidate's campaign, they can circumvent this limit by donating to PAC, which then contribute to the campaigns. Corporations can only contribute to PACs. To avoid contribution limits, there are super PACs that can spend money to influence the election, usually on advertising, but they are not allowed to coordinate with the candidate's campaign. Despite the enormous sums raised and spent, spending the most money does not guarantee an election win. Historical data show that candidates who outspent their opponents did not always win, as seen in the 1984, 1996, 2004, and 2016 elections. Factors such as the decreasing reach of expensive TV ads and rising partisanship also play significant roles in election outcomes. Wealthy donors contribute for various reasons. Some hope to influence the winner after the election, some hedge their bets by donating to both sides, and some are deeply passionate about their chosen candidate, regardless of the candidate's financial needs. Reforming the campaign finance system is difficult due to deep divisions between political parties on the issue. Democrats and Republicans have opposing views on how campaign finance should be handled, reflecting the broader polarization of the American electorate. One proposed solution is to allow more money to flow through political parties, which are more accountable. This approach is seen as preferable to the current system, where billionaires fund opaque groups with names like Americans for a Better America, making it unclear who is behind the money and what they stand for. Harris supports raising the federal minimum wage to $15 per hour, arguing that it will lift millions of Americans out of poverty and reduce income inequality. She advocates for a tax code that benefits middle and lower-income families, including expanding the child tax credit and reversing the Trump-era tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans. Harris has proposed increasing federal investment in affordable housing, including rent relief programs and initiatives to combat homelessness. On the other side, Trump advocates for tariffs on foreign goods, arguing that they protect American jobs and industries from unfair competition. He has been critical of trade deals like NAFTA and the Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP, preferring bilateral agreements that he believes give the U.S. more leverage. His economic policy includes further deregulation of industries such as energy, finance, and manufacturing, with the goal of boosting economic growth and reducing government intervention. Trump supports maintaining and expanding the tax cuts implemented during his first term, particularly those benefiting businesses and high-income earners, which he argues will stimulate investment and job creation. A central pillar of Trump's platform is his commitment to securing the U.S. border with Mexico, which includes completing the construction of a border wall. He also advocates for stricter immigration policies, including limiting asylum claims and increasing deportations of undocumented immigrants. Trump proposes shifting the U.S. immigration system to a merit-based model, prioritizing skilled workers, and reducing the overall number of immigrants allowed into the country. In the 2024 election, both Trump and Harris are set to deploy distinct yet powerful campaign strategies. Trump will likely focus on rallying his base and energizing voters in key battleground states, using his signature rallies and strong social media presence to bypass traditional news outlets and generate enthusiasm. He will emphasize his outsider status, positioning himself against what he describes as a corrupt and out-of-touch political elite. This approach is expected to resonate with voters who feel economically left behind, culturally marginalized, or skeptical of government institutions. On the other hand, Harris is expected to highlight her accomplishments in the Biden administration, particularly her involvement in key initiatives like the American Rescue Plan and the bipartisan infrastructure law. Her strategy will revolve around mobilizing crucial demographics that were pivotal in the 2020 Democratic victory, including African Americans, women, young voters, and suburbanites. Harris is likely to focus on swing states, leveraging her personal story and policy expertise to connect with a broad spectrum of voters. Both candidates will aim to capture the attention of the nation with their contrasting visions and approaches, making this a pivotal election. As the 2024 U.S. presidential election approaches, the contrast between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's strategies becomes clear. Trump's campaign will center on energizing his base through rallies and social media, while portraying himself as a reformer opposed to the established political elite. In contrast, Harris will leverage her achievements in the Biden administration, focusing on key demographics and swing states to build a broad coalition of support. This dynamic race promises to shape the future direction of the nation, with both candidates presenting compelling visions for America's path forward. To stay informed about latest developments worldwide, it's request to subscribe our Global Affairs channel. Your engagement helps us provide timely and in-depth coverage on different affairs. Thanks for watching.